Hi Saviors, GH here. In this video, we're going to check the Bombardier build, which consists of Cannoneer, Matross, and Sapper. And you guys know the drill. Show each classes, what they do, and tell you guys the reason why each of these classes are here in this build, the good and the bad. And with that out of the way, let's do this! Okay, Saviors, here's the build. We got Cannoneer, Matross, and Sapper. Let's start with Sapper. Now, Sapper is just out of the rebalancing oven as of September, and we'll see if it changes things. Sappers are archers who build traps and set up installation to use it to their advantage. And the reason this class is here is because it's one of the candidate class for the third spot of the cannon build, because one of its skills can work with one of the cannon debuffs. The Sapper skill I'm talking about is Claymore. It's a skill that sets up a trap in front of you that deals high amount of damage, and it guarantees a critical hit if the target is inflicted by smoke grenade, which is a Cannoneer skill. And if you look at the skill, it looks awesome, but the problem with Claymore is it takes a few seconds to set up and it gets you stuck in animation, which is never good, I tell you. They should have given this skill more damage or more targets because the cons outweighs the pros. Getting stuck in animation is never good, plus the setup time is not quick, which makes it a bad skill. Next Sapper skill is Spike Shooter. It's an installation skill that shoots arrows at regular intervals. It lasts about 40 seconds. Next skill is Broom Trap. This sets up a rotating trap that deals damage to enemies when it comes into contact into the trap. It's a very good mobbing skill that lasts 15 seconds. Next skill is Detonate Traps. This can detonate Spring Trap, Stake Stockade, and Broom Trap. And there's an attribute for this that cuts down the damage to 50%, but reduces the cooldown of Sapper skills by 2 per trap detonated. I don't enable this because the cooldown reduction is that great, and I find the damage of Detonate quite useful at times. Next is Spring Trap. This sets up a trap that knocks enemies back, and you can set it up 3 times and you can detonate this. Another skill that can be detonated is Stake Stockade. This deals damage to enemies that comes into contact with it. Get at least level 1 for detonation. Next skill is Leg Hold Trap. You throw 3 traps that will knock enemies down when they step into it. Last skill is Punji Stake. It's a trap that launches enemies away, and there's an art for this that removes the setup time and adds an additional effect of slowing down the enemy and makes enemies take 30% more damage from the caster. And that's Sapper. In my opinion, it still needs a bit more tweak. Maybe remove the setup time from the traps or more damage. Right now, as it stands, I still think Falconer is better, even though the class is outdated for a long time. But don't worry, Falconer will get updated soon. If there's an update to Sapper, just ask in the comment section down below. And now let's head on to Matross. And Matross is the tag team class of Cannoneer. Seems like IMC is normalizing this kind of class synergy. The good thing about this is it ensures that builds including a tag team class like Cannoneer and Matross will be usable and strong. Bad thing though is less variety, because only the third class will be deemed changeable. Back to Matross. Now, Matross is a cannon specific class usually taken because you took Cannoneer. Without Matross on a build with Cannoneer in it, it'd be weak because Matross skills comprises of abilities that works well combined with Cannoneer. Let's look at the skills. First important skill that makes Matross vital for Cannoneer is Roar. This increases cannon damage by 60%. Using this increases Matross skill damage as well as Cannoneer damage. Second skill is Cannoneer Shot. It's like a gravity ball that holds down up to 10 enemies, a pretty good crowd control attack. It deals damage at the end of its duration. Third skill is Crouching Strike. It's an area attack that knocks down enemies. It's a nice CC with fast cooldown. Fourth skill is Menace Shot. This is a debuff that stops regular enemies from moving, and with the proper attribute, it also increases cannon damage. Fifth skill is Explosion, an area attack that has a chance to do more explosions for more damage. The number of targets hit are doubled when in bazooka state, and that bazooka state is a Cannoneer skill. We'll touch on that in a bit. Last skill is fire and run. It's another area attack, but as you jump back, you are immune to damage. So this is your iframe. Not exactly that reliable, but it works. And that's Matross. If you're looking for a class that is dominating in terms of AoE damage, this is the class. Just don't forget to combine it with Cannoneer, the last class on this build. Now, Cannoneer is the tag team class of Matross. It's a class that can increase cannon damage even more. This is usually taken because you have Matross on your build. Without Cannoneer on a build with Matross in it, it'd be weak because Cannoneer skills comprises of abilities that works well when combined with Matross. Let's look at the skills. First off is Bazooka. This allows you to enter the Bazooka state or cannon stance, which increases cannon damage, increases cannon basic attacks, and increases AoE attack ratio of cannon attacks. The caveat though is you can't move when on Bazooka state. It's like you're crouching. In spite of that, it's still worth it going onto Bazooka state. Next skill is Smoke Grenade. This reveals hidden enemies and debuffs them, and this works with Claymore, making Claymore hit critical 100% when enemies are inflicted by Smoke Grenade. Third skill is Sweeping Cannon. This is your strongest area attack combined with Bazooka state. It can have about 50 plus AoE attack ratio that can hit a lot of enemies, making it great for challenge mode. Fourth skill is Siege Burst. It's another cannon attack, but I primarily use this to break magic circles and launching enemies in the air. Next skills are Cannon Blast and Cannon Barrage. Both are pretty good area attacks. Cannon Blast has a chance to destroy plate armor, and Cannon Barrage has a chance to stun enemies. And last Cannoneer skill is Cannon Shot. This is your main cannon attack with a cooldown of 5 seconds only. You're gonna be spamming this a lot. Max this out, you're gonna need this. And that's the build, an excellent mobbing build if you ask me. And now let's do the good and the bad. Let's start with the bad. First off, it's not great for single target or boss fighting. Another thing is it consumes so much SP. I find myself running out of potions all the time with this build. So make sure to pack up reserve potions when the time your main source of SP recovery runs out. Lastly is Sapper. I think it still needs an improvement, at least in its setup time, because it's such a drawback. And now let's do the good stuff. First of all, this build is probably one of the top builds for mobbing. Hence, it's amazing for challenge mode. Not the boss part though. Another is you have a few iframes here, and so as mobility skills. 2 step backs and 2 iframes at the same time. Lastly, crowd control. It's not as great as the wizards, but its sure hell works better than other classes. All in all, if you're looking for an archer build, this is a great choice. Just remember though that this build isn't that great for boss fighting. You can change Sapper to Wugushi to further increase boss damage, and that's up to you. I haven't completely tested out Wugushi yet. I hope it can help with the boss fighting problem of this build. And that's it guys. If you have any more questions about this build or changes that this build might have undergone, just ask in the comment section down below. And if you like the video, hit the thumbs up, share, and then subscribe to be part of the Gaming Hardcore family. And as always, this is Gaming Hardcore. See you in the next one.